Hey guys, it is Cinco de Mayo 2026, May the 5th, and I wanted to give a update on our backyard project that we are doing. This year, instead of focusing on my vegetable garden, I am doing a lot of backyard renovations just for our yard in general, just our outdoor spaces. So I'm going to turn the camera around and start giving you an update. Okay, so from here I'm standing facing our this is pretty much what I consider our backyard, just this area right here. The other lot on the side yard where I have my chickens and my garden and everything is kind of in a different area, but this is we're straight off of we have a screen enclosure composite room here that we built, and which that's what we do as a company. And then this is our backyard, and then my chicken pen is here. One of my chicken pens is there, and there's a garden bed through there. So first thing I want to show is, I think I'll start with this is one of my green stalks, and I just did order, or I'm getting for Mother's Day, a new strawberry pink one with the free strawberry cups that are coming with the special. And I did order the leaf one. Both of the ones that I have are the larger original green stalks, and I ordered the leaf one so I can put all my strawberries in there and shallower stuff, and it does come with 2 extra tiers because of the leaf. But as you can see, my strawberries that I've had in here for a couple of years, every year I add a couple of strawberries to here, and these are getting humongous. They've got a bunch of strawberries on them. This pink one is one of the new ones that I added this spring. So I have several strawberries in here, and I'm going to end up transplanting them to the new strawberry pink, how appropriately named leaf green stalk when it comes in. But what I got growing here is my strawberries. I've got some basil. I planted these snapdragons from seed 2+ years ago, and they have perennialized in this green stalk, so they are looking huge and happy in here right now. I do have some vincas popped in for color. This is a oregano that I planted a couple years ago that has perennialized. I have a tomato plant, not sure what kind. I have a cucumber plant that I started from seed as well. And some more strawberries. More strawberries. I have some lemon thyme and some more of the vincas. And I still got some holes that I need to fill up in here. So we will go. This is my bottle brush tree that I planted last spring. It just got done blooming. And this is the new archway that I put up. I have lights on it. And I've got these 2 big nursery planters filled with flowers, and in the flowers I have some petunias. I found these a packet of 8 lilies, or some kind of oriental lily, I think, at Aldi in Brandon, Florida, when we were on spring break to Tampa, and they're about to bloom. They're supposed to be white, and they only paid $2.50 for those, so I popped those in these 2 planters, and I'm super excited to see what they look like whenever they get open. I also, the same day, I got this rose from the Aldi, and it was $5, and it's about to bloom, so I am excited to see what that's going to look like as well. I got a pink angelonia in here, my lemon coral sedum, which I have planted. I bought one plant many years ago, and now it's everywhere in my planters, and I use it as a filler and spiller. And then these purple grape calibrachoas, I think these are called grape punch. I got a year or 2 ago, and they perennialized in my pot. Same with the salvia. This is Sirius Blue salvia. One of my favorite plants of all time is salvia. It does so well in my Zone 9A Florida high heat, high humidity garden. And then this time I can show you the pink hybrid honeysuckle that I got from Home Depot. is bloomed out in some of its flowers. This one's about to bloom. I saw, and I was just standing right there a couple of days ago, and it was the most beautiful red-throated hummingbird that came and visited this honeysuckle. And that's another reason why I planted it, because I absolutely adore hummingbirds. Even though they're ferocious and feisty, they're always awe-inspiring and breathtaking to me. Every time I see one, I stop in my tracks. And I always tried to film them, but I never I'm fast enough. When they see me start to pull my phone out, they fly away. But there's one in full bloom, the honeysuckles. And here are the other lilies that I planted in this plot that are about to bloom. They have sort of like a spider lily, oriental hybrid looking effect. I forget what they were called, but they have really interesting foliage and habit. They're very upright, and then I just love how that looks, just the foliage without the lily. So got some more of these violet petunias in here, and then I have another pink angelonia repeating over here, and then I have these magenta with the green margin calibrachoas. Those are really pretty. And that's it for this pot. I got some sedum in here. Oh, I do have right here, that is a fuchsia, and it is not bloomed right now, but I started growing those last year before, and they do really well over here. So next we'll just go down this aisle. I have the Supertunia bubblegum. I have one in each one of these pots, and then I have the white salvia in here with them, and I also have a couple of white geraniums popped in there. So, and my little decoration got knocked over. I'll talk about the decorations. So a lot of these decorations that you see that look like this and that have the little bulbs in them, I got these at Dollar Tree on the Dollar Plus. They had a bunch of different ones, and they have a little battery in them and an on and off switch, and they light up. But beyond the lighting up, which I think the battery doesn't last very long, I think half of them are already dead, but these are so interesting and have so much detail to them. They have like little marbles and bright colors and the little bulbs and different details on them, to where they're not just a nighttime plant, they are a daytime and nighttime interest for your plant. So these were $6, and I really like them. Even though I'm not impressed by how long the battery lasts to keep them lit at night, they are a very cute decoration for your planter for the daytime for $6. I thought it was a good deal, and they have a whole variety of critters. This is the newest one that I just got. It's a butterfly, and I'll show you the other ones. In this pot, I planted the same thing. It's just the Supertunia bubblegum, and it has the white salvia, and it's got a little bit of lemon coral sedum tucked in, and I don't see any of the geraniums in here, so maybe there is some in there, maybe not. And my little Boston Terrier, Buster, he's about 8 months old, and he loves to eat everything. So does this 1-year-old boxer right here. She loves to eat everything. So the next set of planters, I have my Serious Blue Sage or Salvia that's come back. For some reason today, I think it's because we got so much rain, some of my snapdragons are kind of wilty, because it hasn't been, even though it's been hot, it hasn't felt very hot because we've had a wonderful breeze here lately, and it's been cool at night. So I just got some snapdragons in there that I planted back in February. I've got some dianthus that I planted in February. I have popped in some of these beautiful magenta petunias. And I still have some of my pansies from February that are still doing their thing. Lemon coral sedum. And then in this planter, I have another one of those Dollar Tree Plus decorations. And this one, you see, it has the marbles, it has a butterfly, it has 2 butterflies, this beautiful lily that lights up. And then it has, you know, the stems and everything. So a lot of detail on it. Makes it really pretty. And in here I got some more dianthus from February, some Johnny jump ups. I planted these marigolds probably in February or March. More dianthus, and then I just popped in some of these coral petunias sometime after the fact. And then the next ones that I have are these two big tan ones. I used to have these on my front porch, but I brought them back here. And these are loaded with petunias. I've got some coral pink petunias. I've got the dianthus. My purple pansies are still going strong. I've got these beautiful carnation dianthus in here. A little bit of marigold. Some purple salvia. Yeah, and that's it for that pot. But these petunias, so there's actually two different petunias in here. There's this coral pink, and then there is this actual pink that's in there. But those are all looking happy. Again, my Dollar Tree decoration in here. This one has bumblebees and a flower. And it has blue and gold. And then going over to the matching one on the other side, we'll start with the Dollar Tree decoration. This one has a frog, and he's so cute. And he's holding a flower. He's got marbles in his eyes. And over here I have the light pink with the white center petunias. Some of these deep violet petunias. The pansies that are still growing strong. Some purple salvia. I just poked in these two salvias, these two purple ones. I did one here, and here just a couple days ago to start adding more summer flowers to these pots, and I needed a thriller flower for these pots as well, so that always fits the bill. I put some vincas, the marigolds were in here, and we got some more of that dianthus from the early spring. And then the next pot are my mermaid looking pots, and we need to wash them off because I've been watering the soil. And I have it here, which I want to go back and get more of these. I got these from Ollie's. I don't know if you have an Ollie's outlet superstore, but they're clear, so they don't have a lot of daytime interest, but they have a little solar panel on them, and in the night there's two hummingbirds and a flower, and they glow. One glows green, one glows blue, and then the flower glows, I think, white. But they're super bright and they're gorgeous at nighttime. And those, I think, were $7, $6, $7, something like that at Ollie's. And I have one of those on each side, so they're really pretty at night. Maybe I can get some footage of all the things lit up tonight. So in this pot, I just have a lot of the dianthus that I planted in early spring with marigolds. And I've just popped in a vinca. And I did plant a salvia in here, but I don't know what happened to it. It hasn't thrived yet, but I think it'll come back. So I left it in there. So hopefully it will. And then on this side, I have a lot of the early spring Johnny jump ups in there. I have a dianthus. I actually was growing this dianthus in my garden for like 6 years, and I just busted it up and put it in a bunch of the pots that are out here. I have this Rio Mandevilla that I popped in here just today. And so that's all that's in here is some, actually there is a salvia in here, and I'm just waiting, I guess, for it to come back and do its thing. I did plant one in here, and it kind of acted like it wanted to die off, but now it's coming back. So when the salvia comes up and does its thing, it'll be in there. But some of this planter right here is kind of looking sad because these early spring flowers are starting to go. But this flower right here, this Mandevilla, will be a beautiful flower that'll take it through until the frost, as well as that salvia that's coming back. So the next set of planters, I got these flower ones, and these are from the Dollar Plus aisle at Dollar Tree. And I got a purple flower and a pink flower. These were $6 as well. They have the big solar light on the side like the hummingbird things do. And so they come on, and that comes on a pink light and that comes on a purple light. So more stuff that you can find at Dollar Tree right now. And then this has the Sirius Blue Sage that I have perennialized in these pots. And then I have some pentas that I got from the nursery that are really pretty. Some of the Johnny Jump Ups are still in here. And then I have this really pretty magenta petunia growing in there. And then this one has just a bunch of the dianthus that I planted this spring. The pansies are still going strong. And I've got some of these gorgeous hot pink petunias that I love. I wish I would have got a lot more of them because I just absolutely love that stunning hot pink color that are in them. And then the last one closer to my door are these tall ones. These are Better Home and Garden planters that I got from Lowe's or Home Depot many years ago, but they are very sturdy. This one has some Sirius Blue Sage that I grew from seed and perennialized. It's got some of this Purple Queen Jew in here. This is another one of my snapdragons that are looking weird today. I don't know what the issue is. Maybe it's just because it was so sunny and hot, but you really couldn't tell because of the great breeze. Here's some more of the petunias that have the white centers, and I think that's pretty much all that's showing out right now in this pot. There is some more, another petunia or something growing in here, but it's not flowering, so I don't know what it is right now. So going over to this other pot, there is this Dusty Miller was in there since last spring, and it kind of went through the whole season with us. These are two salvias that were in this pot before, but I don't know what color they are until they bloom. But here is some double petunias that I got at the nursery that are these pretty purple with white stripes, and then these red snapdragons, of course, from spring. And then there's some orange Johnny Jump Ups that are still doing their thing, and some pink pinky purpley looking petunias in there. So that's what that pot is looking like. It was kind of standing up better. We got all this wind today, and we got a bunch of rain, thank the Lord. So this is what my little walk, and then this arch has lights on it, so it lights up at night. And so that's what our beautiful flower walk is looking like. And then the next flower bed that I worked on, I have two blue suede shoes, salvia in here, and when I got them, I couldn't plant them. I wasn't ready in this garden bed for a few days, and they got kind of hot and stressed, so they did lose their flowers. And then I planted them in here, and now they are coming back. And as you can see, we've got a couple blue flowers, so these will be huge. I had one in a giant nursery planter. Matter of fact, one of the big giant nursery planters that I got on beside that Gothic arch there, and it filled up the entire one last year. So these are going to get big. I've also got these really pretty pink with white center geraniums that have the variegated leaf from the nursery, and these have been very beautiful and hardy and sturdy. I got them at the same time as these, and they never stressed. They never did anything. I planted them in here. They never had shock, transplant shock, or nothing, and they have just been an awesome variety of geraniums, which geraniums are one of my favorite plants to grow here because it does well. So every year I grow all kinds of salvia, all kinds of geraniums, all kinds of vincas, and also what I have planted on the ends, which are not in bloom, are a purple lantana. So purple lantana is also a workhorse plant that you cannot hardly kill if you try. So over here, we just moved our pool filter because we used it for our new water feature, and we did not need to use the sand filter. So he just disconnected everything like this morning with this. So I need to put that sand filter in the garage, but he actually did use the pump part. So once I get that out of the way, I'm going to be developing this whole corner. Right now I have a pink lemonade lemon tree that I got from the nursery is in this pot. I got a sweet potato vine. I got these petunias. They were called hearts or something like that, and they actually have hearts on each little petal. In between the white stripes is like a little heart. I thought that was super cute. I have a thing for hearts. I have hearts always follow me everywhere I go, so I really like those. And then on this side I just have a red one, which is not in bloom right now, but is about to bloom. And that's what I got in that planter. And from Ollie's, I got 2 of these beautiful peacock spinners, which, if you know me, peacocks and hummingbirds, that's my birds. So I got 2 of those. I really thought they were cute. Those were only $6 a piece as well. And then this little planter I just put up a couple days ago. I actually got this when our grandmother passed away last year. This was in a box in one of her rooms, and I got that and put it up. And I just have filled it up, and I poked some of the purslane in there, and it's actually been blooming. So I'm gonna put some more. I'm gonna keep breaking pieces off and sticking them in those little pots until the pot gets full. Because with that particular type of flower, it roots very easily. So my strawberry pot down here, I planted one of my date palms in here, and it has gone. It's not dead. It's just gone through a shock, and it may not like where it is. So I may plant something else in there, but I just got the lemon coral sedum tucked into the pot. So right here, I'm planning on putting that together, this bed right here between the dog door and the outlet right about here, and planting it full of flowers. Probably vincas and angelonias, something that is super hardy in my area. Speaking of super hardy, plumbago, you'll see it throughout my yard. I grow it everywhere. It is a workhorse, die hard, always in bloom, always gorgeous no matter what plant that I always have in my yard. And then I planted some red tie plants. I always plant these in my chicken pen garden, but it has a lot more overhead coverage, and these like some shade. But I planted them here. I figured they would go through some shock, but this area, it only gets a couple hours of full sun during the day. So I'm just waiting to see if they're going to get worse or get better. And if they get worse, then I'm going to move them over there to the completely covered area and put something else here. But right now, I would like to see if I could get them to adapt, because they are very hardy plants, and they do get a lot of shade here. They just don't have total coverage. So I want something with a lot of color and height to go against this fence to make a vertical impact here. So we'll see if that'll be the ticket. I got some of my bunch of little leftover pieces and bulbs of hosta from the 2 kinds of hosta that I planted out. This is my jasmine, and I think this is called Jamaican jasmine or something like that. But it just is a bush. It's super hardy, and it has a lot of white flowers that smell amazing. I've got 2 of these that I planted out in my landscape, but I had them in pots for years before I planted them into the landscape last year. And of course, they died back in the freeze and came back. This is a Japanese forest grass, or carex, and this is real sandy right here because there's a French drain under here. So I'm just trying to figure out what kind of pot or how I want to put that and where I want to put it at. But I thought that I wanted to add some grasses to my flower beds for the movement. I mean, you kind of want some of every kind of structure and shape going on. And I absolutely love these bright yellow green foliages almost as much as I like the purple and pink. especially with the black mulch, they really pop. And so I just picked that up at Home Depot just a couple days ago. And in this pot I have one of those Majesty palms, which is going through its little shock thing right now. I have a bunch of wax begonias, some of the lemon coral sedum, and some of the variegated coleus in there, which I need to water this plant because it don't get a lot of rain, even though we've had a lot because it's undercover. Moving around, I still have my jasmine here. This is the climbing jasmine, and I need to move. I'm thinking I want to put it by my chicken pen, but I need to go ahead and do that because this gate is now there and it's kind of blocking it, but it needs something to climb on, and I'm thinking about putting it on my chicken pen. So that's just something I need to do. I got some Angelonia here. I've got a purple one. I believe that's a pink one. And then all of these are my candy stripe crenum lilies, which are going to be blooming next month. These are my amaryllis lilies, and they just got done blooming. So there's a lot of lilies in this bed. But as far as what I planted in here, there's another one of those carex, Japanese forest grass. I got some vincas in here, a plumbago that's looking really good. I need to go ahead and add another layer of mulch in here, but just haven't went and got any more to go ahead and keep adding to it. I've got some caladiums that I've poked in here too. So they're just coming up just now. This plant right here is a new plant from Proven Winners, Southern Living. And it is called Charlie Boy. And it is a cordyline, full sun to part shade, 2 to 3 high and wide. And this plant, I figured that I was going to put maybe 1 or 2 in the landscape, but it just has so much structure, and I don't know if the lighting is doing it justice for the color. It has the most beautiful pink and gray color, and I put it's actually a wonderful container plant because you can put it in a container, a variety container, and it does an excellent job of being a thriller specimen because it adds height, it adds width, it adds shape, structure, and movement. So it looks, as you can see here, it looks awesome in a container, which it just, all this stuff is super small still, but I popped in another one of those Rio Mandavillas for a spiller effect in there. And my poor not marigold, what is it? It is it's kin to the jasmine. I'll think of it in a second. But anyways, this plant's been here for a long time, but those branches were over top of this that we just cut back. So it's looking real sad, even though now is its blooming time. Gardenia. So this is my gardenia. I want to cut it back because it looks so bad because of what it endured being underneath those limbs, that I need to cut it back so it can come back. But I didn't want to cut it back when it was about to bloom. So it's just finishing up blooming. So in here I got another one. I had these planted. I'm gonna see if I have the tag in here. Of course I don't. But anyway, I had 2 of these plants that I planted over here in this area last year, and they loved my yard. They loved the amount of shade and sun. Everything was perfect for them. They flourished, they got huge, they were so happy. And they are a part shade to full shade plant. And these are called red hots. And I can't think of the botanical name for them right now, but they do really well. So I found those at Home Depot, so I wanted to poke some more in, and they'll get huge and pretty. And then I have some more vincas, some more plumbago, some more caladiums. These are just my firecracker canna lilies that are planted everywhere, that come up everywhere, and they're kind of just deciding where they want to come up right now. I haven't had a chance to get my bird bath over here yet, but in this planter I just had some red petunias and some coleus, In this planter, I have some sage that is perennialized, and a red petunia, and a celosia. This celosia is looking, it's trying to do whatever it's gonna do. But I planted those from seed, so they're supposed to be really pretty when they get big and do their thing. And then right here I have my other jasmine bush. And then right here I have one, I think it's called, it starts with a P. Wish I would have kept but it's a full shade plant. I got it from Home Depot, and it has these purple flowers on it. So it's been super happy with this spot since I put it here. It's not gone through any shock, and so hopefully it'll get big and be happy this year. These big planters, I have two of these big old giant blue resin planters. I got them from Aldi, the grocery store, for $12.99. They're 20-inch planters, and they are amazing quality and amazing size for that price. When I saw them there, I could not even believe it. And they had them in white, mint, dark gray, and this color. So I wish that I would have got more, but I had already bought a few new planters this year because I trashed several that were cracked and broken. So I still think if I go back to Aldi and I see them again, I'll get some more of them because they are such high quality for such a great price. So in here, I've got some salvia. I actually put in these planters. This is my Vitex tree. I got 3 of these bare root trees off of Etsy. They're the Vitex trees. You can look that up and see what they look like. But basically, they look like a tree form of a purple salvia. They grow, they're an old variety. So this is not a man-made tree or flower or whatever. This is a natural tree that occurs in nature, and it's very medicinal. It's used for hormone support and things like that. And it has purple flowers all over it, and it does well in high desert, dry, neglect, full sun, all of that stuff. It just thrives in it. And so that's kind of what my yard tends to be sometimes in the heat of the summer. So definitely wanted to get some of those, but I just put them in these pots so that I could keep them watered and get them going. And I have this salvia I transplanted from my garden. It was actually growing in the ground, so it is going through a little bit of transplant shock, but it will come back. This is a Serious Blue salvia. So this whole pot is brand new, and things I've moved from other places mostly, and so everything's kind of looking a little worse for wear, but once it gets going, it's going to look really well. This is some of the dianthus I've been growing in my garden for a long time. It's got a coleus in there. These pink impatiens, these hot pink impatiens are so pretty. I got them from Home Depot just the other day, and I popped those in there. And then I have some more coleus, and this is some miso basil, and there's a petunia back there that's not doing very good yet, but everything is going to come back and be good and fill out the planter really well, I have no doubt. And then down here I have some hostas, caladiums, my green mountain boxwoods. Those are guacamole, hosta, caladiums, and I'm thinking that these are also my firecracker canna lilies that have decided to come up right here. So there's 3 of them that have volunteered to come up in this spot. And I got some caladiums, my Majesty palms. Even them went through a little bit of transplant shock once we got all that rain. And then here are some of the sun patients that I put in back when I first did this garden, and they are happy and they are looking fantastic. Same with the coleus, caladiums. This is the royal standard hosta, and I got some more Majesty ferns, some more of the sun patients right there. That one kind of struggled. It actually used to be over there where I put that planter, and I moved it to right here. and I felt it would be happier right there, because the happiest ones of these sun patients are right on this wall right here, and they are growing and they are doing awesome. So I have a planter here, and I got these planters. I got the one right here and one right there. They're from Ollie's too, the wholesale store. And I got one last year, and I went back and found a mate for it this year, because I'd always regretted not having a pair, because I like to have at least a pair of planters so that I can balance them, put them on each side of something if I want to. And so I got another one, and I put these date palms in them with some lemon coral sedum. And then here's another one of those cordyline plants that I haven't figured out where I want to put it yet. This is a coleus that's doing wonderful. Guacamole. In here I have some lemon coral sedum and some calancho sedum growing in my little pig planter. There is more of cladiums. Everything's kind of repeating. Here's another one of those Dollar Tree decorations. This one has ladybugs on it. Super cute. And then in this planter I have some yellow supertunias, which have done awesome. And then I just have it paired with some purple lantana, which really isn't bloom. Well, kind of blooming. A couple of them's blooming, but it looks really pretty when the purple is all bloomed out with the yellow supertunias, and with this coleus, this spiky leaf coleus that has some purple to it. So that planter I'm really happy with. That's just one supertunia, and it has done amazing from day one. And then right here I just have Majesty Fern, Boxwood, another one of the Sun Patients, Royal Standard, and another Guacamole right there, Caladium. So I didn't show you, before I get to the pond update, here's the other planter, and I just have the same stuff in it. I did plant one of those Rio mandavillas in there. I've got this dianthus, this long stem trailing dianthus that I grew in my garden. This is another piece of that salvia that I dug up from my garden and put in here, and it's not going through as much shock as the other one, but I still don't have leaves on my bare root Vitex plant, but I will. And then I got some more of this purple stuff, and I moved this from another pot, and I moved this bright purple one from another pot, so everything is adjusting. And once it all fills out, it'll be looking gorgeous. So on to this. So last night, we did a couple of weeks of waiting on materials, but last night we had got a bunch of the plumbing and stuff in for this, and so he plumbed his flexible tubing. At the bottom there was a drain plug, so he used the drain plug area to plumb in some flexible hose, and so that's buried underneath there. We went ahead and put this in the hole and run our tubes up, and there was a big old giant pile of dirt from where this hole was dug out right there, went all the way up almost to the top of the fence, and we moved all of that dirt, put it around here, and graded it down so it's kind of sloping. Moved it all from back there. He made his mound and leveled it off to put the 300-gallon Stocktank bog filter on. And then we put the sprinklers on it last night. We kind of tamped everything down the best as we could and put the sprinklers on it to kind of settle the dirt last night. So this morning he came out here and he set the bog filter. He finished doing the pipe plumbing that goes from the pump, moved the pump from over here, put it over here, and plumped the pipe that goes to the bottom of the bog filter. And then he put his liner that he bought on here. So the liner is inside of all the way down inside of the bog filter, and then it comes all the way down and comes halfway into the pond tank, so that none of the water with the waterfall can ever escape from the system. And so water gets pumped from in here, from right there, at the bottom of the tank, all the way up over there to the pump, into that hose, to the bottom of the bog tank, and then it comes up. And we have not yet filled, we have a few of the big river rocks at the bottom of the tank, but we still have to fill it with all of our lava rock and our other rocks to make the bog filter. But he made the top ledge out of the slate rock, and he just stacked all these rocks on here. And the back of the bog, like, it's on a mound of dirt that was packed down and leveled off and made flat, but the back of it is reinforced with cinder block, and the front of it has some aluminum beams to hold everything up and support everything, especially underneath the rocks. So that's what it's doing right now. We still have to finish spreading out the liner. We're going to put gravel or granite rocks all the way around. We're going to put rocks inside, around. It's not going to be filled with rocks. It's just going to have little like islands of rocks and sand and stuff in there. And so that's what we got to do. We got to basically finish putting it together, finish filling up the bog tank, let it filter all the water, and secure everything down with construction adhesive once we get it where we know we want it, and then do landscaping. We're going to put, like I say, rocks all the way around, so we have a little perimeter, a buffer between the grass that will be and the pond. But it's so nice to have this in our yard. I know that a lot more birds and bees and insects and frogs and all kinds of critters are going to be drawn to the house now because of this water feature. But it's just super nice, and this water flowing is so tranquil and peaceful, and it drowns out. Like, I have this horrible neighbor behind me, and they have dogs. They have a kennel back here now that they've got walkers in and hunting dogs, and all these dogs do is bark to the top of their lungs all day, every day, and howl. So my backyard has become, you probably heard it in my last video, the white noise that is those dogs barking, and this kind of drowns it out, which is nice. It drowns out. We have a train that comes by a couple times a day, and so now pretty much mostly what you can hear is water flowing and chickens, which is how I wanted to be. Coming over here, we got a planter. It's got my turmeric in here. I put some more of those hot pink impatiens in there, and it has a caladium. This planter right here is really nice. It has the Angelonia, I think it's called Archangel White, not Angelonia, Salvia, Archangel White Salvia in here. And it has some sweet potato vines, some more of that purple pentas, and some purple coleus. And then on this side, it has some of that double purple and white striped petunia in there that's not blooming right now, but that is a gorgeous pot whenever everything's in bloom. And then I did plant a new bird of paradise back there, and then here's my new Thai plants. But my old Thai plants, you can see right there, the ones from last year and the year before are where these white sticks are. They're coming back. And also last year I planted, he's got some of his tubing casing right here, but last year I planted some of these dark purple cannas. I got a container of them and split them up and put them in here. So I think I saw a while ago somewhere in here, I saw another one of these dark purple ones coming up. So maybe, hopefully they'll come back. I expect them to, because cannas are so hardy here. So the rest of these are my, there's a couple of old-fashioned orange canna lilies that grow really tall. And then the rest of them are my red firecracker cannas. So I think that this one down here is another one of those pretty purple ones. that I planted last year, and I got a little bit of the queen purple and some elephant ear in here. And then this pot I got from Ollie's wholesale store, and all the pots are got dirt all over them because we run that sprinkler last night. We had tons of rain. But this has a date palm in it, and I want to go, this is actually ceramic, and I want to go back and get a matching one to this one because it was only $39 and it was huge, and it's actual ceramic from Ollie's, but haven't done that yet. So, and then here's my mother plant to the purslane that I've been picking off of to get going in those little tiny hanging baskets, and that is a bulletproof plant that can take some neglect. So that is, well, I guess I can go around and show you these other two or three planters that I have. So right here I planted my sunshine ligustrum. I transplanted one from the front yard right here last year in the heat of summer, but I watered the crap out of it, and it finally got over its shock, and now it's coming back again this year, so I'm super happy I'll have that. And those can get really vertical, and sometimes they'll get knocked down by the frost, but I doubt this one will because it's right under this big oak tree. And then this is a sweet viburnum that I planted here years ago. It's a multi-trunk tree that I've trained up, but I planted this from a teeny weeny tree, and I absolutely love this. I used to have two giant ones on my side yard, but they died after a hard frost one year. So I'm glad I have this one now, and I'm loving, after all these years of it being big and pretty multi-trunk tree, and these white things that are about to bloom here are going to make my whole yard smell like oranges and honeysuckles. It smells so good. Love it so much. And then these spinners, these are kind of faded because I got them last year, but I got them at Ollie's for $3.99. They were really bright colored last year, but they have more of them this year, and I got a couple. But this is my Meyer lemon, and I wanted to put it in a bigger pot this year, but I haven't found a bigger pot yet to put it in. This is a foxtail fern that got killed back by the freeze, and I was just leaving it there to see if it really was gonna die on me or if it was gonna come back. And my big one did get knocked back too, but it's coming back. And then I have my aloe vera that multiplies here, and it also blooms a lot. It blooms all throughout the spring and summer, and a little bit in the winter. It's not really in full bloom right now, but you can tell. And the hummingbirds absolutely love the flowers on this aloe vera. So down here I put two new barrels. So last year I had one of my yellow hibiscus in one of these, and I have it over there, and I don't know if it died or if it's going to come back or not, but I bought another big hibiscus, and then it's got the purslane at the bottom. Same with this one, but this one is that one's the yellow. This one is the double peach. And then in my little concrete planters I have some white impatiens, some more of that sage that I've been growing for a couple years. This is Blew My Mind. It's called Blew My Mind, but I'm trying to think of the botanical name for it. But it's a little blue flower. These are super tolerant, bulletproof, high desert, full sun, resistant plants. They have little blue flowers on them. If you look up Proven Winners, Blew My Mind, you'll see there's Blue Days, Blew My Mind, a bunch of different varieties of it. I can't think of the botanical name. So, and also in that planter I have a little hibiscus, which I repeated in this one. So this one has the white impatiens, the Blew My Mind, and the hibiscus in here. And then this right here is the tangerine or orange tree that Alexandria grew from seed after her first day of kindergarten, and it's been in a pot for years, and we finally planted it in the ground a couple months ago, and it's been super happy right here because it gets tons of morning sun. So that, oh, there's 2 more planters right here. So this planter right here, I got 3 of these from Dollar General this year. They're kind of tall, skinny planter, but I got 2 white ones and I put them on my front porch. And I bought some topiary, some tall topiary, multi-bush topiaries from Amazon, and put them in the white planters on my front porch because my house is trimmed in white. And this one I just put back here, and I put another one of those mandavillas. This is a red one. And then I have some very bright pink, red pentas in here. This is some dianthus that I grew from seed. I don't know what color it is. And then there's a celosia that I grew from seed in there. And then well, I guess I'll show you my other green stock, how it's looking right now. So here's my light pink basket weave that I got for Mother's Day a couple of years ago. And right now it has the hot cherry peppers. That's what these are. And I have 6 of them in here. And I have some vincas in here. I have some peppers that I grew from seed. I actually got a 6-pack of these hot cherry peppers, which are one of my favorite peppers. I've only known about them for probably 5 years now, but they are the peppers that you get from Jimmy John's when you get a sandwich. They're pickled hot cherry peppers, and that's what these are. And I saw them at the nursery and I was like, oh, I have to get them because I want to grow them this year, and I'm not doing very good with my vegetable garden because I'm focusing on my little backyard area. And then this is some summer savory that I grew from seed a long time ago, and it is still going. It's perennialized in there. There's more of the hot peppers. On this side I have, this is lemon basil. I got that at the nursery. This is thyme that I grew from seed, just regular thyme. English thyme, I guess you call it. And then in these little pockets I have a couple more of the peppers I grew from seed. I think this is a basil that I grew from seed. And this is some more of the pansies that are still hanging on from summer. And then this last pot is, this is actually a Japanese plum. And I got it from a friend of mine's yard, and it has put off a baby, which I'm going to try to see if I can separate and put in another pot. But I just love the look of, which I'm sure if it ever gives me fruit, I'll love the fruit. But it has really finally taken off. I've had it for several years, and it likes this big pot that I put it in last year. And in this pot with it, I just have some rain lilies that a lady at my feed store gave to me, that somebody brought in and donated to share with people. And those are really pretty. They open up and they're like pink. And I used to have a bunch of white ones sporadically in my yard when I first moved in here, but that is my Japanese plum. And that is the update for the yard for Cinco de Mayo 2026. And hopefully, in the next few days, we'll have a new update on the pond. I cannot wait when we can put fish in the pond. So maybe I can take some more clips and a little bit of all the lights, because I've actually went to Dollar Tree, and Dollar Tree has the little solar lights they always have, but now they're colored. So there's a switch at the bottom. You can turn them off or on, and they have, or you can make it be white light or color light, and the color light just continuously loops through all these different colors. And I didn't know this either, but there's a double or a AAA battery inside of all the solar lights. And so when I bought them earlier in the year, I thought they were just like the normal ones they always have, and I thought they just didn't work. And then when I went back and got more, I saw the tag that said they're colored, and when I flipped it over, I saw that there was an on and off switch. So the ones that I had bought before, I came out and I turned them on color, went back and got more, and then all of my Dollar Tree lights from years before that didn't have an on and off switch, that were not working, they're just the white ones, I switched out the batteries on. So I put a new battery, opened them up, put new little AAA batteries in all of them, and now all my solar lights are working again. So I didn't know that they actually had a AAA battery in the Dollar Tree little solar lights that they sell for $1 or $1.25 or 75 or whatever they're doing these days. But that's a tip. If you have the little solar lights from Dollar Tree or Dollar General, you can unscrew the back and put a new battery in if it stops working. And also a tip, Dollar Tree has the ones with the multicolor functions this year. So you can't really notice because it's just a little tag on it that says it. That's why I missed it the first time I bought them. But if you look closely, you'll see that they have the color changing ones this year, which are really pretty when you see them at night out here. Changing all the different pretty colors is something different than just the white light. So anyways, I'm going to end the video there, and I will talk to you guys later. Okay, we got the pond in the ground, we got it plumbed, the bog filter is leveled, got the pump set up, starting on the waterfall. So we got everything leveled and set up, pump is hooked up, and the bog filter liner is on, and now we are working on the first piece of the waterfall, which he is using a hair dryer to get the adhesive to dry so he can move on to the next piece, but starting with the top piece, and we are using these flat slate rocks for the waterfall. Yeah.